Hi guys, my name is Amrish. You're watching Gourmet at Home. Today I will be preparing a traditional recipe from Bengali cuisine and the name of the dish is Dhokar Dalna. These are some of the old and classical recipes which people are slowly forgetting with time, and also we'll see these dishes are not mentioned much in the restaurant menus. The word dhokar or dhoka means deception in Hindi and dalna is for gravy. This dish is considered to be as one of the main pillars of vegetarian Bengali cuisine, which is a Niramish cuisine. So let's start preparing the recipe of dhokar dalna. For this recipe of dhokar dalna, I will be using chickpea lentil which I have soaked 4 hours before. Along with that, I will be using ginger, green chili, fresh tomato puree, potato wedges. In whole spices, I have got green cardamom, clove, bay leaf, dry red chilies, and in powdered spices, I will be using cumin powder, coriander powder, chili powder, and turmeric. So in the first step of the recipe, we'll make a fine paste of chickpea lentil along with some cumin seeds, ginger and green chili. After making the fine paste of soaked chana dal, I will cook this in a pan along with some ginger paste, cumin powder and turmeric powder until it is thick in texture. First I will start by adding approximately 1.5 tablespoon of oil in the pan. So once the oil is hot, I will add approximately half a tablespoon of ginger paste along with cumin powder, turmeric powder and asafoetida. At this stage, I will add the chana dal paste. After cooking the chickpea lentil paste in the pan, we can see it's firm and thick in texture. We'll transfer this in a plate or in a tray drizzled with some oil, and then we'll evenly spread the mixture on the plate, ensuring the mixture is not cold, because once the mixture is cold it will be difficult for us to align it in the plate. So after aligning the mixture in the plate, I will transfer the plate inside the refrigerator and I will rest it in the refrigerator for 15 to 20 minutes. In Bengali vegetarian cuisine, dishes like bora, dhokar dalna, sukto are some of the recipes which were prepared and mastered by widows in olden times, because they were forbidden to involve in non-vegetarian meals. They were only allowed to have sattvic meals, the meals which were prepared without onion and garlic. So slowly with time, they started developing their own dishes which emulated non-vegetarian dishes prepared from vegetarian ingredients. So after 15 minutes, I will remove the lentil mixture which I have set it in a plate from the refrigerator, and now we'll cut them into square or diamonds. We'll dip it in a slurry which I have prepared with refined flour and water, and we'll fry them till crispy. The vadis are crispy and golden brown, and now we can remove the vadis from the oil. Our lentil vadi or dhokar is ready. It's nice, crispy and golden brown in color and soft from the center. We can serve this like a canapé with some salad or some dressing on top. But now coming to the second step of the recipe, we will start by adding 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil in kadhai, and once the oil is hot, I will start frying the potatoes. After frying the potato, let's start making the gravy, and that is the dalna. I will be making the gravy in the same oil and in the same kadhai in which I have fried the potatoes. But let me reduce some quantity of oil from the cooking pot. For the gravy, I will add 1.5 teaspoon of cumin seeds, dry red chilies, 2 pieces of bay leaves, along with 4 pieces of green cardamom and 4 to 5 pieces of cloves. After adding the spices, I will add 1.5 tablespoon of ginger paste, 4 tablespoons of coconut paste. Now this coconut paste I have prepared from the fresh coconut. And this coconut paste will give a nice body and texture to the gravy. But if you want to make it more lighter, you can avoid adding coconut paste to the gravy. In some cases, they add the paste of poppy seeds along with some nuts also. After sauteing the coconut paste for 8 to 10 minutes, I will add fresh tomato puree. So I have added approximately 500 grams of fresh tomato puree, which I have prepared from 4 to 5 medium-sized tomatoes. And now we will continue cooking the fresh tomato puree until it's thick in texture. You can see now masala is thick and tomatoes are cooked. At this stage, I will add the spice paste. Now this spice paste I have prepared with turmeric powder, chili powder, coriander powder, cumin powder and some asafoetida, and then I have added some water to it. And it's a very unique and a very different way of adding the spices to the gravy, which I have mainly seen in Bengali cuisine. And we use spices all over the country, but the way we use the spices is very different, and that makes Indian food and Indian curries very different and special. After adding the spice paste to the tomatoes, I have cooked the masala for at least 7 to 8 minutes, and now I will add water and we will allow the masala and the gravy to simmer at least for 5 to 10 minutes. The curry is simmering for 5 minutes, and now we will adjust the seasoning with some salt and sugar. After adding the salt and sugar, I will add fried potatoes. Now most of the Bengali curries, especially the vegetarian curries, they are quite thin and they use a lot of potatoes in their curries, and these potatoes not only add on to the taste but also gives a nice texture to the Bengali curries. After the potatoes, we will add our dhokar, that is the chickpea lentil vadis. We'll finish the gravy with half a teaspoon of garam masala. And at this stage, I will turn off the flame and will rest the curry for 5 minutes. Now in these 5 to 10 minutes, this vadi will absorb the curry and the flavors, and the texture of the gravy will be slightly thicker. So if you want to make it thin, you can add some more water to the gravy. So we can see after the 5 minutes, the gravy is slightly thicker. This is the time I will finish it with some chopped coriander leaves. And we'll start serving the dhokar dalna. I have served dhokar dalna with paratha on side. You can serve this with chapati, steamed rice, ghee rice or pulao rice. Now this is one of those recipes that we are slowly leaving behind. I think we need to revive these recipes and start cooking them in our kitchen so that these recipes can be preserved and passed on to the next generations. I'm sure you have enjoyed watching this recipe and you will try this recipe in your kitchen. Looking forward to see you again in our next episode of Gourmet at Home.